Hey kids, it's Papa. Are you ready to explore the Bible? All right. Hey, take your Bibles and turn with me, if you will, to Exodus chapter 17, and you will. Exodus chapter 17. All right. Now, you remember what had happened? God had delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt. He had sent those plagues. He had killed Pharaoh. He had led them through the Red Sea on dry ground. He had given them and was giving them manna, a miraculous thing, every single morning. And you would think that they would just be walking on sunshine and saying, "Wow, our God is taking care of us every step of the way. This is great. We love serving God." But what did they do? They didn't do that because they go out into the wilderness. They left the wilderness of sin and they were out in the another wilderness, and they go out there and they get thirsty and they think, "We don't have any water. Oh, we're thirsty. God's going to kill us." And so what did they do? Well, let me read this to you. In verse 3 of Exodus chapter 17, it says, "And the people thirsted there for water, and the people murmured against Moses." Now, let me ask you this. Why did they murmur against Moses? Wasn't it God that had led them out there? I mean, keep in mind there's this huge pillar of cloud during the day giving them shade, and a pillar of fire at night giving them some light, and it, Moses didn't do that. That was God. So why did they complain against Moses? Well, it was because they couldn't see God and they can see Moses. Listen, there are a lot of times when God tells you something and like, obey your parents, okay? And you get upset and you complain to your parents. Well, listen, God told you to obey your parents. Complain to God. Better yet, don't complain, because this is what we're supposed to do. And so, what they do, they complain to Moses. Well, and notice what they said. And they said, "Wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst?" Once again, they're exaggerating as they complain and murmur. Well, so what did Moses do? Well, he did the right thing. He went to God about it. But notice Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, "What shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me." Moses wasn't above some exaggeration himself. But anyway, God told him, he says, "I want you to take the rod." Remember the rod that God had given Moses? And said, "I want you to go and in front of all of the people, I want you to take that rod and I want you to go to that big rock. You know that cliff, that massive rock that's right over there? I want you to go there and I want you to take that rod and I want you to whack that rock, and water will come out and the people will drink." And so Moses said, "Okay." So he got the rod and he went and he called all the people together. And he took that rod and he whacked the rock, and suddenly the water comes gushing out. And it wasn't just a little bit of water. I mean, it was a huge amount of water. Because how much water would you need to have water enough for more than 1 million people and all of their cattle? It would have to be a real gusher full of water coming out. Well, they did, and God supplied the water, and people drank, and he met the needs. Now, there's a very important picture that I want you to see here, because God doesn't just do these things, he does it to teach us, to teach the children of Israel. Now, what can we learn? Even if the children of Israel didn't learn, what can we learn from it? The Bible talks about how that rock was a picture of Jesus Christ. And you see, Jesus Christ was smitten. He was hit. He was hurt for you and me. He was killed. Okay? And he was killed in front of all of the people so that he could supply salvation for all of the people. What a beautiful picture this is. But I want you to see that many times God allows things into our life so that we can learn something. And so when there is a problem in your life, sometimes you need to just stop and say, wait a minute, what is God trying to teach me? What can I learn? Where is the opportunity here? Because God doesn't just allow trials into our life for no reason. He allows them into our life so that we can learn and so that we can grow. You might want to remember those two things. God allows trials into our life so that we can learn and so that we can grow. All right? Hey, love you guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.